here on the campus of NC State. Uh, Getting ready to put in some work. Um, Getting ready to uh, do a speech to an audience that I hope has and will have listening ears, so that they may be fed this knowledge that I've been blessed to have in a elementary, uh, uh, primary type of way. These are smart individuals, so my vocabulary palette will not exceed theirs, of course. Oh, but my wisdom and my knowledge will. My experiences will. And then what the word has put on me will. So I hope this audience will be receptive, as I've been fortunate to come here. I won't go into how I ended up here. I won't go into uh, uh, what set it up, but nonetheless, I'm here. So let's give a feeding to these young minds and old souls. Let's go.
Are they ready? Okay, gotta go. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I want to thank you all, first of all, for allowing me, as I always like to say, for allowing me to invade your space. The reason that I always resort to this type of greeting is because everyone does not want you in their space, nor do we want everyone in our spaces. So when you have such a gathering as this, to hear, to receive, to learn, it says a lot about your space that you do not mind being invaded, as long as it's invaded with truth, with knowledge, with wisdom, and with foresight. I come to you from the good old state of North Carolina, which of course you all are very well aware, being that we're on the campus of NC State, North Carolina. But I have to mention that because whoever may decide to listen to this message, there are times they may want to know, where was this message delivered? And so, not to insult anyone's intelligence, because you all are here because evidently you are extremely intelligent, I still have to make sure that I go forth with the basic things that people may not know. So I'll start by saying that again. I'm coming to you all as you are also here on this magnificent campus of NC State, here in the good old state of North Carolina. And I want to thank those responsible for having me here. I will not call their names because I understand they have brought me to this space off the radar. And I know there are times where people, when you hear that term off the radar, it kind of has a negative connotation, but I beg to differ. The programs that I've ran for years have been off the radar, off the beaten path. And I'd like to think that prayerfully, a lot of minds have been changed. A lot of abilities have been increased, have been made known to those vessels. I've had the blessings of coming through my programs, and I having the blessing to mentor, coach, teach, instruct them in my various programs that for the most part have always been off the radar. But seriously speaking, I do want to thank those responsible for allowing me to be here, because we live in a world now where it's a dangerous thing to present the truth. And so for you all to be here, you know what this message is primarily going to be about. Well, you don't know the details of it. You don't even know the title because I haven't given it to you yet. But you do know this is in reference to truth. It's in reference to the one truth that we all can lean on, trust, and depend on. Our God, our Lord, our Savior, our King, Jesus, Yeshua, Jesus Christ the King. And if you found yourself here by mistake and you thought this was an orientation for something else, please, I will not be offended if you recognize that you are in the wrong place. Then, please politely, quietly, if you don't mind, head to wherever you are supposed to be. Or if you weren't supposed to be anywhere and you just saw people gathering here and you just assumed, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. Well, guess what? This still may be where you're supposed to be. I call that divine intervention. But yeah, seriously, yes, please. I don't want to embarrass anyone. I know if anyone were to get up now, you would feel kind of awkward. So I would ask them to turn off the lights, but I'm afraid you won't be able to see. Well, we do have flashlights on our phone, so is that possible? I know I'm asking a lot, but I don't want anyone to be embarrassed because this is a sword that I come to bear. Lord, I come to bear a sword, a word, for you young thinkers, you future leaders, you abnormal entities that go against the flow of the majority. I'm sorry, I'm already getting into it, but I come bearing a sword. So if we could we turn those lights off? If I know this is crazy, but I told you guys, I am, out of the norm. I'm off the radar. I am pretty much one of the most out of the box thinkers, out of the box speakers, messengers, coaches, mentors, teachers, whatever you want to label me. I am one of the most out of the box individuals you will come across. So could you? Oh, thank you. So as they're dimming the lights or turning the lights off, yes, I just want to give everyone a platform to take a stand and to take a stand on, to politely leave without feeling as if you're being called out. And while they're doing that, okay, great. We'll give about a minute. That's about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, about 2 or 3 minutes. They'll keep the lights off, ladies and gentlemen. Please, as a disclosure, no one move unless you have your flashlight on your phone so that you can see how to exit. And again, I will give another minute and a half. I've not seen any flashlights on yet, and if flashlights do go on so that you can see how to exit, please, I thank you all who are deciding to leave. I thank you for at least being here. And maybe in some other place, maybe in some other time, our paths will cross again. And if our paths do not cross, maybe the path of the one who crosses all our paths, who always meets us at the crossroads, will be present when you need him. So it's not about me and us crossing paths, but it's about the one to whom you all came to hear from, I pray and hope. Okay, 30 more seconds, and we're going to turn the lights back on, and we're going to proceed with this sword that I come to bear. And while we count down, I know I have not introduced myself. I will do that shortly. But I do want to thank you all again for just being here and allowing this wandering soul, such as mine, to enter your space and to invade your space. I come from the good old city of Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I hail from. That's where I was born, raised, reared, and I never take that lightly. But I am fortunate again to have resided here in the good old state of North Carolina for 10 years now. Okay, so all right, the lights are coming on, and to my surprise, chagrin, no one has vacated. So please, I thank you all. Now, if you feel the need to vacate, of course, during this message, hey, again, I'm just fortunate that you would have heard maybe a portion of it. Okay, and that's where we're going to go. And there's the stopwatch timer. Oh, you guys are good. They had the stopwatch, everything ready just to make sure that the timer was set for what it needed to be set to. All right. Well, let me introduce myself. I go by the name of Kai, K-Y. It's just like the word sky without the letter S. I always make this known because it's easier to remember. Many call me Coach Kai because, again, I am a coach. I've coached for years, years in various sports, basketball, cross country, track and field. And I also have ran my own sports program for Corner Athletics for years as well. It started down in Atlanta, Georgia, and since I've resided here in North Carolina, it's also been here with me. For as I shared with someone years ago, they wanted to know, well, wow, you left, your brand, your 4CA, Four Corner Athletics, and you came here. Wow, That must be pretty tough, and to leave what you may have had. And what they failed to understand, because I noticed they kept saying what you've left, and with all sincerity and politeness, and confidence, because I am confident in many things. I struggle in many things too, but I had to stop them and say, well, I hear you and I appreciate your sentiments, but understand the program is me and I the program. Let me say that again. For once, has it been spoken, twice told that it may be heard. I had to politely, interject that in spite of all their leaving references with my program that I was blessed to start in Georgia almost 20 years ago, I had to interject quickly, and I had to say, well, do understand that I am the program, and the program is me. In other words, wherever I go, the program goes. You see, I'm the one that carried that baby. I'm the one that carried that vision. I'm the one that conceived that vision many years ago. And therefore, where I go, that vision goes. Some of you all, I notice I said some of you all actually have your mothers present here with you. And your mothers can attest to this, though I can't, is while you were in your mother's belly, being nurtured, okay, under that skin sheet, that skin wrap, that skin bubble. Wherever she went, you went. Because you were a part of her and your mother a part of you. So I had to make it known that I've left nothing to the sort, because wherever I am, that's where the program is. Now, leaving, students, clients, as some people call, I rarely refer to those in my program as clients. You will hardly ever hear me say that, but I refer to all, 90% of the times, 95% of the times, as students. Whether you are well-seasoned, middle-aged, young at heart, adolescent, primary, elementary, I refer to all of my program as students, because they're being taught and I'm doing the teaching. But let me flip it around. While they're being taught, guess who's also being taught while doing the teaching? I, myself. I learn from them, they learn from me. So you would never hear me, hardly ever hear me refer to any participants in my program as clients. That just has it's such a formal, no. It's like, I don't know, it's something about the word student, as you all are. I'm going somewhere with this, ladies and gentlemen. There's something about the word student when you think about it. And you all being young scholars, you know, of course, definitively what, the definition or what it means to be a student. You all are students that are present. We all are students in the grand scheme of things when you think about it. Even some of you all who have parents that are here with you, they still are students. Now, they may not be students at your level, but they're students nonetheless. We never stop being students. In other words, we never stop, nor should we ever stop studying. We should never stop striving to gain knowledge. We should never stop having certain interest in certain subjects of life. So therefore, we all are students. So that's why you will hear me refer to those in my program, past, present, and future, as students. That being said, you all being students, you have a path that has already been laid out for you. Now, if you remember what I said earlier when I spoke about crossing paths with those that may decide to leave this particular message. When I said crossing paths, I spoke of one who will always find us at the crossroads. See, I won't be able to find you at your crossroads. If I do, it's because the Almighty One has orchestrated it. But what I'm saying is, He can find every last one of us at the crossroads where we are currently standing, where we are currently at, where our state of mind is at the crossroads. Think about that. Every last one of us. I don't know how many people may be listening to this, but every last one of us, He can meet us all at our separate crossroads. That's a powerful thing when you think about it, because He has that ability. So while we're here, there will be some of us that will be met at the crossroads based on this message, this sword that I come bearing. And please understand, I don't want to cause disruption. I don't want to cause confusion, dismay, but I do want to bring a truth that hopefully, prayerfully, will reside with you for the rest of your lives. When I say I come bearing a sword, some people think I'm really going to pull out a 20-inch, Hanso sword. No, 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 no. Lifesaver sword. No, no, no. Though I like these physical, tangible weapons of choice, especially going back to the old King Arthur days, Knights of the Round Table days. And if we want to bring it up to speed in today's, vernacular, or in today's event, with futuristic type weapons, a lifesaver. But I come bearing a sword, a word. You see, I also have, like I said, numerous programs, and one of my other programs is for Wandering Kings. And with my For Wandering Kings program initiative, all of the participants that we engage, that we encounter, that we have dialogue with, we always bring a sword, a word. And the reason we bring that sword or bring that word is because we come as the word comes, as the Spirit moves, we come, it comes, the Spirit comes to divide. I know right off the bat that threw you all off. Is he coming to bring division? Is he coming to put me at odds with my professors, with my peers, with my parents maybe, or with my coaches? Is he coming to put me at odds with them? I am not, but the truth is, you see, let's go to the text. And let me say this, because wherever I'm blessed and fortunate to give a message or to speak, those who have invited me or those who may inquire about me coming, they know what my foundation is. And it is based on the word, the solid rock, the solid rock. Bible, if some of you all don't understand what that means or what that is. The Bible, the Bible. Yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the word of God, the Bible. I just went back to Vacation Bible School as a young lad. That was a song that we would sing all the time, and all these years later, it still resonates with me because the word stand, I stand alone on the word of God, the Bible, the sword. So Christ, let's go back, because I don't want you all thinking I'm coming to divide. No, no, no. The truth does that when it's at odds with a lie, or when it's at odds with untruths, false presumptions, false evidence. The truth will expose. It always does. It is not the falsities of life that expose the truth in a manner that makes the truth look negative, but it's those falsities that actually expose the truth to amplify the truth, so exposing the falsities that we've been taught. So let's go to the text, because I always keep a word in me. I have to, because it is the word in which I live, move, and have my being and ability to stand on my convictions. Even when I slip from my convictions and I compromise, I thank God for the word that he will allow me to get back on the stand of conviction. And so you all will know that it is not I who come trying to cause division, but it is the Lord who first came and brought not peace, but a sword. And he said this for those of you young scholars, maybe Bible scholars, hopefully, in Matthew 10:34. He said this. He said, to many think that I've come to bring peace to earth. We sing these nice, beautiful songs about peace, and it's great. We all seek peace, and we should. We want peace. But I'm sorry, the Lord introduced this thousands of years ago when he said it in his word, that he did not want to misinterpret his coming. He did not want anyone to misunderstand his coming, because many may have thought, Jesus, the baby in the manger, oh, peace to earth and goodwill towards men. These things are necessary. These things are true. These things are what we see. But I want you to follow what the word says, what Christ said. He said he did not come to bring peace to the earth. He said that. He didn't come bearing peace and good tidings, but he said, I come bringing a sword. Because that's what the truth does. The truth cuts. A sword cuts. The truth divides. A sword divides. The truth separates. A sword separates. The truth cuts. A sword cuts. And so you all being here on this prestigious campus of NC State, you're going to encounter various deceptions. If you don't know what a deception is, and I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but I'm a layman, and what that means is, I just love to be taught in an elementary type of way, because if you're taught in an elementary type of way to where a second grader could understand it, that means that I definitely should be able to understand it. My vocabulary palette would not exceed the vocabulary palette that you young scholars have. Oh, but what I will succeed in is giving you this truth in a clear, concise manner to where you will walk away. And if any of you had your young brothers or sisters here with you who were 4 and 5 years old, 6 years old, they would walk away understanding it. And that's what I take pride in. I take pride in giving these messages, delivering, a sword in such a clear, concise way. You walk away, wait a minute, is it that simple? I wasn't confused with what he was saying. It almost gives the impression like this is a fantasy to a certain extent. A fantasy meaning you talk about the truth in such a clear, concise way. You've not added any adjectives to it. You've not added any other descriptions to it. It's just the truth. The truth cuts. The truth cuts. And if the truth cuts, if you were tied to a lie, if the truth, the sword, came and cut that truth, that sword would then set you free. But it may hurt a little bit though, because when you're trying to cut anything away from a lie, oh my goodness, there's going to be some discomfort. There's going to be some pain. Oh, but if you can endure that pain, if you can endure that being uncomfortable in order to be set free, then that's what the truth will do. That's what the sword will do. So as you all are here and you will prepare to deal with various levels of truths, let's be honest, there are still truths, thank God. But you will also be bombarded with deceptions, with lies, because there will be many on this campus, professors, peers, coaches, that will have their own beliefs that unfortunately will not be that of truth. So hopefully you all will be able to stand, and hopefully you'll be even the more encouraged after this message that I give and bring to you today to stand. You all are here because you are high achievers. You're high achievers. I don't know many that decide that after they finish with their K through 12 obligation, first grade through 12th grade, that decide that particular course is over, 1 through 12 is over, just to decide, well, no, and make a choice and decision. Now I'm going to go through the 13, 14, 15, 16. Those are just numbers I added, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there's no grade 13, 14, 15, 16. But let's be real, if I was talking to a little Johnny or a little Sarah at 4 or 5 years old and they wanted to know what college was, I would talk to them about, well, see, right now you're in second grade, and that's third, fourth, fifth. I would go all the way to 12 and then 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm doing the very same here, because I do want to just make it known that you did not decide to stop at number 12. You decided to proceed and continue all the way, hopefully, prayerfully, to number 14. And then 15, 16, so forth and so on, if we want to include the masters, PhDs, to which I could continue 17, 18, 19, 20, so forth and so on. That's why I say that you all are high achievers. Whether your parents have pushed you to be high achieving, whether you are just self-motivated to be high achievers, whether you, even in your struggles and maybe your challenges, you are high achievers because you work harder than anyone else. I used to always tell my daughter, who I had the blessing of raising, along with a lot of help, of course, I would always have her to repeat a mission statement. I started this with her, I don't know, maybe when she was about 9 years old, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. And the reason that I wanted her to start memorizing this mission statement was because I do believe in the power of word. I believe in the power of speech, and definitely I believe in the power of then believing what you start to say, because if you say something long enough, it's a matter of time before you start to believe it. And then after believing it, then you start to operate in it. You start to become it. You start to pursue it. You start to relate to it. So I would have my daughter, I would have her say, this was her mission statement. I'm not going to put her name out there, but this was her mission statement. It was simple and concise, and it went like this: I, blank, will be the smartest, hardest working, or both. Oh, you all bless your hearts. Y'all thought I was going to give you a long litany of, philosophy and a long mission. No, 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 no. I told you all from the beginning, I will deliver my messages as I coach, as I mentor, in clear, concise, understandable language, in clear, concise goals that you are able to attain. And so I'll say it again: for once has it been spoken, twice told, that it may be heard. Her mission statement was this: I, blank, the blank is of course her name that I'll let you use your own imagination to fill in. I, blank, will either be the smartest, hardest working, or both. I will be the smartest, hardest working, or both. For years, I had her to repeat that. And a lot of times I would just say to her, mission statement, and she would just utter it, just like saying hello. It would come forth. Why wouldn't it come forth? She had been exercising this mission statement verbally for years. And so one day, I think she was just a little tired of always being asked this. She said, why do I have to keep, saying this, remembering this? I don't know why I have to keep saying this and remembering this. No, I'm like, look at you. I wanted to squeeze her little cheeks. No. And keep in mind, by this time, she was, I believe she was, high school. Yeah, so by this time, if I'm not mistaken, she was, oh my goodness, as if I'm too big for this now. And I'm like, child, baby, you are never too big to speak affirmations, confirmations, truth, to form confidence in your life. You never get too old for that. But based on her question, I answered her. I said, well, first I want you to know this. Who do you think that mission statement is for? I asked her, who do you think that mission statement is for? That I will either be the smartest, the hardest working, or both. Who do you think that's for? For me? She looked and, no. Who is it for? It's for me. Oh, okay. See, I wanted to make sure that she understood that the whole reasoning behind her being instructed and being taught this mission statement had nothing to do with me, had nothing to do with my ego, but had everything to do with her future, with her ability to set the precedence based on what she uttered, based on what she said. And after saying it for so long, then you start to believe it. And when we start to believe something, then we start to become it. Good or bad, light or dark, confident or not, we start to believe it, because it's always a matter of time which direction our mind takes us. And so I look at you all and I just marvel again at all of this young knowledge that is present. And I'm so grateful again to be allowed to come here to invade your space. Depending on the strength, the confidence that you all have will determine how much you bend. And in some cases even will determine how many of you may break. When I say bend, what I'm saying is you can still be strong. I can still be strong and yet still bend. You know how you've heard people say, bend the rules a little bit. Okay, well, there's some truth to that, depending on what that bending is. Some of the greatest inventors, some of the greatest entrepreneurs, greatest scientists, greatest language art teachers or teachers, period, professors, CEOs, parents, coaches, have been successful because they bent the rules. They bent the rules. And just because you bend doesn't mean that you necessarily break. Understand that. Just because you bend does not mean that you break. Now let's transition that over to standing, being strong in truth. That's why I started with saying that many of you are strong, you have a strong foundation, but many of you will bend. And unfortunately, many of you will break. Meaning many of you will succumb to the irony of higher education, meaning you have been admitted to these prestigious universities, with prestigious professors who are so versed in knowledge that yes, it would intimidate the smartest of students. But unfortunately, some of you will break. Now, I hope this not to be so. I do. And I'm not trying to speak negativity into the atmosphere, but I am speaking again truth because statistics have showed that many who started out with a Christian-based faith ended up disowning, aborting that Christian-based faith upon attending college. These are facts. So I want you all to be able to literally see a two-part chart. On the left side, you have the benders. On the right side, you have the breakers. Okay? On the left side, those who will bend, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to let you all challenge this. The ones on the left are the benders. The ones on the right are the breakers. Now the question comes, what percentage will bend? What percentage will break? I want you to use your imagination. One thing about me is when I'm, doing my speaking engagements, I rarely use a dry erase board. I've been advised at times from, certain, members of the team, Coach Kai, we probably need to illustrate and create more visuals. Well, yeah, great. Then you all, this is how I talk sometimes to members of my team. Then, okay, create me some images then. I give you the image verbally and you create it. Because when I'm in my sword wielding session, sword wielding mode, that's what I focus on. So I'm sorry I don't have a dry erase board, and if I did, I would not draw on it because the message is what I want to deliver. You all are smart enough, and I hope imaginative enough to paint the picture in your mind. You have a two-part chart split right down the middle, okay? The column to the left are the benders, the column to the right are the breakers. Now I want you to decide, and some of you all have probably researched it. I'm not gonna give you a percentage. Let me tell you why I'm not gonna give you a percentage, because I've already said that for the most part, most of you will break. But I don't want to give that a percentage, 90 to 10, meaning 90% will break, 10% will bend, or 70% will break, 30% will bend. I don't want to do that because for all I know, in this particular space that I've been blessed to invade, it may be the other side. It may be the other way around. 80% benders or bent, 20% broke or were broken from their Christian foundation. You see, I don't want to be the bearer of that bad news or negativity. I gave you truth now because statistics have shown, like I said, the breaking of students, Christian foundational faith once attending, these highly prestigious universities. But I will not give a percentage because I hope that you all will be able to actually change the narrative. And when I say you all, meaning those who have listening ears right now, hearing and listening to me. Hearing and listening not to me, but the word that has come forth from me. The sword that I wield right now. The word that I wield right now that has come to not bring peace, not to make everyone feel good, because the truth never just makes everyone feel good. Never. Because there's too much lie in us. There's too much lying in the world. There's too much deception in the world. So when the truth comes, it comes to cut, to divide, to separate us from the lies, the deceit, the deceptions, the intimidations. If you notice something, it's amazing to me whenever someone is proclaiming what they believe to be true, but really it's false, and they have the evidence to know that it's false, but they just refuse to because they choose to believe a lie.